Hi there. Since we are becoming work from home warriors, I thought it might be useful to go through a few different options for workstation setups. So these are realistic. This is in my home, and the first one here is just a laptop on a desk. So you might find yourself in a similar situation. If not, you can maybe take some tips from what I have to offer. I like to use, when you're setting up, kind of a toe to head, head to toe rule. I can never quite get it right the first time, so that gives me 2 shots to get my alignment in the best possible arrangement for whatever situation we're in. So when you're sitting in your chair, ideally, you want your hips and your knees to be at what I call open angles. So you don't want to be leaning forward. You want your hips, so your knees are going to be a little bit lower than your hips, and you don't actually want to bend your knees past 90 degrees. Now, we all fidget and that type of thing, and that's fine. But when you're sitting and your feet are on the ground, ideally, you want your knees to be a little bit less than a 90-degree angle. So here, sitting, I'm pretty short. So when I sit back and use the support of the chair, my feet are off the ground a little. It's hard for you to see. So what I would do is actually put like a book or a little, just a box, something underneath my feet so I can keep my knees at a little bit of an open angle and sit back in the chair. Now this chair is the best we have at home, so it doesn't have much support. What I'm gonna do to compensate for that is grab like a towel or a blanket and roll it up and stick it behind my back. All right, and that allows me to actually sit up in a better alignment. My hips look good, my knees are pretty good. Now, you wanna be close to whatever you're typing on. Often it's a laptop, which is okay. So I'm gonna pull myself a little bit closer. And here, ideally, my elbows and my wrists are really not at a great position. So I want to be at like a downward angle, again, an open angle. So you want your elbow to be at 90 degrees or a little more open than 90 degrees. Same things, you don't want your wrists to be cocked up or down too far. So you want them to be at a slightly downward angle. So again, this is a little bit high. So what I'm going to do for myself is sit on a pillow, a cushion, or if I had the ability to have a chair that was adjustable, that would be great. So there we go. I'm a little bit higher, I'm supported, still at a nice angle for my knees and my hips. And now it's not perfect, my elbow's at a lot better angle here as well. So this I feel comfortable with. Now keyboard, I'm gonna pull a little bit closer. Some basic things, you just wanna make sure everything's centered. Now when you're typing on a laptop, you kind of lose out one way or the other. Either you're looking down or you're typing up. Either your head's in bad position or your hands are in a bad position. So one option, if you have this available to you, is to either get a wireless keyboard so you can put your laptop up higher, and that would be at a better alignment for your eyes, and then you can type down on your desk. Or we have an external monitor here, and that we're gonna put to use. So that is something that you can then allows you to keep your eyes and your neck and your head at better position while you're typing, and your hands and your wrists are in a better position. So here we've creatively stacked our monitor on some wine boxes, since those are something we have readily available in our household. So I'm gonna put that on the desk. I'm gonna come back here. And then this is a much better position. This is probably a little bit high for me. Ideally, when you type, the top line of text should be at eye level. So when you're sitting and you're in good alignment, which is not leaning forward, your top line of text should be right at your eyes. So I would play around with this and get something that was probably a couple inches lower. And then for distance, I should easily be able to touch the monitor with my fingers when I put my arms out straight. So this is a pretty good distance for me. Again, you want to make sure everything's centered. And now here, I'm at a good open angle. My wrists are in a decent position. My back's in a decent position. Everything feels pretty good. That being said, you can be in the best alignment, but if you sit here for hours on end, you're still going to end up with some overuse strain. So the key is to get up really every 30 minutes and look at the body break exercises, and that will give you some ideas of how to do some quick stretches through the day just to keep your body a little bit healthier. Remember to take care of yourself during these times and to keep moving.